Welcome to another episode of Home With You. I'm George Blaze. It's spring, and we've partnered with some great Chicagoland companies that will help you upgrade and refresh your living space. On today's show, we'll take a look at what's going on inside the walls of Cook Brothers. You know, 1740 no Costner. From electronics to clothing and everyday items, they have it all. To get ready for warmer days ahead, Keith's here from Qualified Heating and Cooling to help us switch over from winter to summer. Cliff Miller from Innovative Home Concepts is here to introduce us to the Gutter Shutter and how it can help protect your home from water damage. And Master Gardener Mike Novak stops by to give us some pro tips on getting our lawn and gardens in proper shape for the season. But first, Cook Brothers, founded in 1947, is one of the leading independent retailers in Chicago. They were a warehouse store even before the big box warehouse stores came to town. I recently had an opportunity to explore everything they have to offer, and I mean everything. Well, unless you've been hanging out on Planet Nibiru somewhere, then you've probably seen the commercials. I know you've heard that jingle and memorized it by now, but have you actually ever stepped foot inside of Cook Brothers? You might be surprised at what you find there. It's really high quality stuff at prices that are unbelievable. Here's one of my favorite areas of the furniture. Look at this sectional. It's all leather. We've got full sofa, a corner piece. Oh, recliners. You know, you come home from work, you kick your feet up, and you just kind of pass out till dinner time. You got your cup holders here for your tea or your soda, and of course, you gotta have a compartment to hide the remote from the kids. I hate when they come in the room and they change from what I'm watching to some kind of cartoon, but that's all right. That's why we put a TV in their room. And the price point has to be seen to be able to believe. This is great stuff, and when you come into Cook Brothers, you might think you're not gonna find high quality brands. Well, actually, there's pieces by Ashley Design and others that you see at all major department stores, and at price points that are all over the place. I mean, this might be a little bit out of your range, but let's take a look at some stuff that might be a little closer to what you're looking for. Now see, that leather sectional might be a little out of your price range, but they have all varieties of things. Look at it, it's one of my favorites. It's the purple couch. From having my Purple Rain Prince sleepover with my purple pajamas. Purple Rain. I'm getting carried away, but you won't get carried away because this is a great price point. You can pick up this sofa here, maybe a cocktail table and an ottoman, put your whole living room set together, and you won't break the bank. Plus, the variety of things they have in here are so special, you won't have to repaint the living room or put up wallpaper. Just come in here, pick what you want, get it delivered, or cash and carry. In fact, I think somebody just carried something out of here. And you want to top that all off, you know, get a couple of these plants. Who needs water when you got a plastic plant? Dining rooms. Like I said, the thing about Cook Brothers is variety. No matter what your taste is or your price point, you're gonna find something here. You've got this really cool marble with these chairs. You can choose either this matte silver or even the blue. You've got mission style tables. Some people have nice hardwood floors, a nice little breakfast nook there, or I like this black lacquer piece there. I have these two lacquer panthers outside my fireplace. I think that's gonna go with my north side house. But in all seriousness, the idea is here, you can choose what you want, cash and carry here, or maybe you'd like to get some stuff special designed. They have catalogs you can look through, pick out what you want, get it delivered, bring the truck around the side, and get it yourself. Of course, bedroom sets are another thing that's here, whether it's day beds, sofa beds, bunk beds for the kids, or maybe you just need a tiny little cot in the corner for that cousin who comes and stays every now and then. It's all here for you, and you won't have to walk in with a big wad of cash in your pocket. Over at customer service here, they can hook you up with some great financing, so many options, so many ways to go, but you know what, it's springtime, and I want to get my barbecue game together, so let's take a look at what they have for me over there. Now, I know for many of you true blue Chicagoans, barbecue season is all year long, but sometimes spring is the best time to get out there and start barbecuing. The Smokey Joe. This is old, reliable, everyone's had one. The price here is unbelievable, but if that's not big enough for you, they've got bigger grills, the full-size Weber grills. The main thing here is the price point. For name brands, Cook Brothers is the place to be. Need a new cooler? You left that igloo at your friend's house for the Final Four? You stop by Cook Brothers and pick up a new one. Oh, wait a minute, this is something you gotta see here. We talked about those full-size Weber grills. Look at this, the barbecue tippy fire grill. You can take this out to the park. $4.99. That's $5 for a barbecue grill. You get invited to the barbecue, stop by Cook Brothers, throw this in the back of the car, you're ready to go. You are the grill master. Hoses, as seen on TV, I've seen these things. This is that hose that it uncurls itself and re-puts itself back together when you do it. It's got brass fittings on there, high quality items. Very, very good price on that. Fans, they air it up. Air it up, yeah, air it up. Cheap fan, keep your feet cool. I like to put that under my poncho, keeps me cool there. Some nice styrofoam coolers. Oh, planters. Let's say you want a window box. Everyone's got a little herb garden going outside your window. Here's one for you, and you can't beat that price. So whether it's small plants, big plants, everything you need, the seasonal aisle at Cook Brothers is the place to be. I don't know what to say. I don't know why you're not here right now. Cook Brothers. Man, let me tell you, my legs were worn out and I only got to show you a small portion of all that Cook Brothers has in stock. Cook Brothers' huge warehouse store is located at 1740 North Costner in Chicago, at the corner of North and Grand. You can also check them out online at cookbrothers.com. Up next on Home With You, the weather's getting warmer, so it's time to think about staying cool. We'll get some advice from a full-service HVAC company, and later, we'll give you that one thing about lawn care that most people actually get wrong. Stay tuned.
Home With You is brought to you by these local partners: Cook Brothers, Qualified Heating and Cooling, and Innovative Home Concepts.
Welcome back to Home With You. I'm George Blaze. It's that time of year when we all shut down that furnace and finally kick on the air conditioning. But there are a lot of steps in making sure you'll be comfortable in the season to come. Joining me is Keith Nelson from Qualified Heating and Cooling. Keith, good to see you.
Hello, George. Thanks for having me.
Oh, man, I'm glad this winter is over with. I'm
Yes.
looking in the backyard. I'm looking at my unit. I'm making sure. But there's more to it than just this outdoor unit. But I think this is a good place to start.
Yes.
When you come over to someone's house, what are you looking for as far as maintenance?
Well, just like you said, George, we're shutting down from the winter. So we're going to look for any debris from trees, leaves, any pollen that may have built up across the coils, any foreign matter restrictions that would restrict our airflow on the air conditioner outside. So that's pretty much.
You ever look in there and find like a squirrel or something dead in there?
Well, field mice, when you're out in the rural areas,
Right.
you get a lot of those and things like that. But most of the matter that comes in there is the leaves from trees and things
Gotcha.
like that.
All right, so don't be afraid. There's no dead squirrel in your compressor unit here. Now this reminds me of an old 75 Chevy radiator, but this is actually the coil that does the cooling.
Yes, yes. And also this is designed as the same analogy of a radiator in a car. But we want to make sure we keep our filters clean so that we don't get the damaged coils like you have here.
So this is what happens when you don't change your filters. You get all this debris and gunk.
Filters, and also doing the cleanings that we need to keep the system sanitized.
Wow, and these are some things, depending on the designer unit, you can do yourself. There's some no rinse cleaner there, and these are all safe as far as the environment as well.
Yes. It's the Go Green product. So and it's not cause any problems with people with allergens and things like that.
Now I see you brought a unit here for us that this is the kind, I guess, if you wanted to do some maintenance yourself, this is what you're looking for. Tell me about that.
Well, this is what we call a case coil from the manufacturer. So it's designed for accessibility to keep our system clean and maintained. So that one you have to our left here, that's not accessible because it's been installed in the plenum of the furnace. So with this one, you can come out as a door here, take 4 screws out, and just pull it out and slide, take your chemicals,
just do your cleaning there?
Yep, do your.
I like the looks of that thing. Wow.
And then that way you can inspect your tray and keep everything. Once you're finished, slide it back. Voila, it's done.
And that's one of the things that people seem to get wrong is there are little things you can do as far as maintenance, like you mentioned the filters and what have you, that'll keep a guy like you from having to come in and replace the whole unit. What would you say are the top 3 things people can just do themselves every month?
Check their filters on a monthly or no more than 60 days.
Wow, okay.
30 to 60 days, check your filters. You can always check and see around your air conditioner, especially in the start of the season. You have PVC pipe that's about a 3/4 size here. That's what these openings are for. That goes down to the drain. Just look around the furnace and see if you see any water or any condensation or just anything or any abnormal sounds or noise or sweating or frost.
Now, I've noticed that some of the lines coming from my outdoor unit that go into the house, they're kind of wrapped in a styrofoam insulator. Should I see if there are cracks or holes in that, or how important is that?
That's very important. You want to make sure the line, there's 2 lines on there. One is clear, but the main one is insulated. So you always want to make sure that there's insulation on there and that it's not broken or kinked up or anything.
And one of the other things I heard someone talking about is, back in the day, I know they used to use Freon was the main coolant, but I understand there's different things out there now. What should you look for as a person?
Well, if you have any refrigerant problems, you will notice, because then your coil, where you get the cool effect, it will be warm. So your air would just be like circulating a house fan.
I see.
So, and once you determine that your system isn't working properly, cut it off immediately and then call the professionals.
Wow. And last but not least, since we're going through the trouble of making sure everything's clean, cleaning our air. The air quality is so important. You have here a self-contained unit. It's got HEPA filter. It does everything in one.
Correct, yes. This is the top of the line when you get to filtration for your home. With the system, this one particularly can do dust mite, mold, cigarette smoke, pollen. It filters each stages of the filter. It has like 5 to 6 different filters in there.
So this is a good investment, because buying filters every month and keeping that kind of upkeep, just spending the money here one time, your air quality might be cleaner. And of course, we want to remember everybody, change the batteries in your smoke detectors, your carbon monoxide, and make sure the batteries are changed in your thermostat, because you got to keep control.
Correct.
Well, I dropped that. Keith, this is so much great information. I thank you so much. Can I give you a call to come out to my house?
Thank
you think
you.
that'll work?
Thank you. Yes, it will.
You won't charge me too much?
Anytime.
Anytime?
Anytime.
I'm telling you, my coil looks like that one there.
We'll take care of it.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Keith. Of course, when you get ready to get quality service at an affordable price, you can contact Keith Nelson at Qualified Heating and Cooling. Call 708-283-4695 or check them out online at qualifiedheating.com. When Home With You returns, we'll learn about gutter solutions that fit any budget and see the best gutter system on the market in action. Plus, you'll get a piece of lawn care advice that might just surprise you. We'll be right back. Welcome back. If you've ever cleaned your own gutters, you know that it can be a real chore and even a little dangerous climbing those high ladders. Well, before all those leaves start clogging your gutters, there is a way to upgrade your gutters and protect your home from potential water damage. Joining me now is Rick Johnson and Cliff Miller from Innovative Home Concepts. Rick, good to see you, man.
Oh, you too.
Now, the whole thing is that cleaning your gutters can be a chore. Like we said, people fall off ladders all the time. I know my cousin did. You don't want that to happen. We call the professionals. What's the first thing you do when you come out to someone's house?
When I come out, I look around the house to make sure if there's any problems. Now, the real thing, what we do is we take a camera pole. We extend it up into the gutters to make sure what's going on in there. Because a lot of times, if you don't go up there, there's wood that can be damaged that you don't know about. But we want to make sure that everything that we can show you, we show you so you know what we're actually going to be doing. So what
that
you're
actually
going to be
happened to
paying
me
for.
on a house that I had before, where I thought there was a gutter problem until the guy got up there and looked at it. We didn't know the soffit had rotted out. There was a bee's nest in there.
Yes.
All kinds of stuff.
So we do that with the camera pole. But with the open gutter, it's a flawed system. The reason why it's a flawed system because everything collects in there. Leaves, debris, your kid's tennis ball might be in there.
Of course, frisbees, all kinds of stuff in there.
But also, it's very thin material. And since we live in Illinois, what happens is ice builds up in it and it starts to pull it down over time.
Gotcha.
You're going to have to replace this gutter. But what people do is they go to their local hardware store and get different things like this.
Yeah, I've seen this stuff,
there.
different kind of screens and filters.
Yeah, but these they're not permanent. Eventually you have to take these off. They're gonna have problems.
Well, luckily you guys have some great solutions here. Let me go talk to Cliff about these solutions. Cliff, good to see you, man.
Good to see you
How
as
you
well.
doing? Yeah, get me from falling off a ladder here. But let's talk about you have something to meet everybody's price point.
Yes, you start out with a regular gutter and putting a screen which will have holes in it.
Okay.
Okay, but
Very
that
basic.
still creates a shelf.
Gotcha.
So the next step would be to get an angled type of gutter protection for the top of your gutter.
And what's the advantage of this over just having the screen there?
Well, the angle itself.
Gotcha. Some of the debris will actually slide off.
Debris will flow off.
Gotcha. Very cool.
And then we come to what we believe to be the best in the gutter market itself.
This is the gutter shutter.
That's correct. It features a 3x4 oversized downspout and a wide mouth adapter. And here is the gutter itself.
Wow.
And the beauty of it is if you can catch inside here, that 5-point mounting bracket.
Oh, look at that. If you look down
Super-
inside there, super rigid kind of scaffolding in there.
Absolutely, and I just want to demonstrate how strong it is,
Sure.
if I may. So first we have another type of one-piece gutter, and literally you can just sit there and
Wow. Well, you don't want
smash
that.
that.
Remind me not to
Exactly.
let you up on my roof.
We do roofs too. But
look
here's
at-
gutter shutter.
Look at that. He's standing right on it.
Not going to collapse.
Indestructible.
Gutter
That's
shutter.
great design there.
Absolutely. And that's due to the patented brackets.
I love it.
The greatest foundation there is
All right,
for
now
a
this
system.
is the pièce de résistance. This display here actually shows the gutter shutter in action, how it works.
Exactly. First generation liquid adhesion. That's the forward nose. Leaves and debris shed off. Water goes into the gutter and the trough itself. Second generation exclusive flow reducers.
Wow.
Cut down the water. Anything that bypasses it will follow just as this one here and go into the gutter
That's
itself.
really cool. So even during like a big downpour, you get less stuff spilling off the top of the
Absolutely.
gutter there, and
Correct.
more of it going in the gutter. In
Correct.
the wintertime, is there any issue with getting frozen or debris getting frozen in there?
What doesn't get frozen in Chicago?
They make a good point. It's a fantastic point there. This is really, when you show this to people, it tells you what's going on there. You know what? Do you have a special offer for people out here?
Yes, we do. Glad you brought it up. 85% off installation labor, and just for allowing us to come out to your home to do a gutter analysis, $25 Visa gas card. No purchase necessary.
And I can use that for anything.
Absolutely.
That's a fantastic deal. Not only you get a great gutter to protect your house, you save yourself some money. There's nothing like having rotted out soffits and fascia on your house, because that's going to cost you extra.
Especially with a lifetime cloud-free guarantee and a lifetime won't pull away or fall off.
Now, is that transferable? Let's say I
Yes,
buy a
it
house
is.
that has on there. Do I keep the guarantee?
Yes.
That's
Yes, it transfers
fantastic.
to the next homeowner.
Cliff, it sounds like you thought of everything.
We try.
That's fantastic. Well, Rick, can't thank you enough for being here. Of course, please don't get hurt on any ladders.
I'm not getting on the ladder.
Oh, that's right, because he's got the camera stick. He's got it all figured out. Cliff and Rick have it all figured out. To learn more about gutter shutter and innovative home concepts, give them a call at 844-4GUTTERS. Stick around. When we come back, Master Gardener Mike Novak is here to take us through everything you need to know to have the best lawn on the block. Stay tuned.
Home with You is brought to you by these local partners: Cook Brothers, Qualified Heating and Cooling, and Innovative Home Concepts.
Welcome back to Home with You. You know, there's nothing better than the feeling you get walking outside on a sunny Saturday morning and seeing that you have the greenest, well-kept lawn on the block. But how do you even get there? Well, joining me now is the voice people of Chicago trust when it comes to what's green and growing, Mike Novak. Mike, good to see you again.
Good to see you, George.
Now, before we go any further, what's this one thing about lawn care fertilizing that people tend to get wrong?
I think what they get wrong is they're fertilizing too much, okay? You know, you talked about a green lawn, and do you really need to have the greenest lawn on the block? How important is that? Is your water important to you? Is the quality of your water important to you? One of the things we do in America is we put too much nitrogen in our waterways, and that's why we have dead zones in the Gulf of Mexico and why we have algae blooms in Lake Erie. So what I would say is leave your clippings on your lawn, and if you really, really want to fertilize, you can probably get away with once a year. You hear all of these
Is
steps.
it better to do it in the spring or the fall?
Fall.
In the fall.
In the fall. So we're in the spring now. Let your lawn green up. Help it out with stuff that
All right.
we've got here.
You made it a point to me to say that nothing starts without soil. This is the bottom line.
Exactly. So we've got this, and you've probably seen this in your yard in Chicago. Boy, you get a lot of this. This is clay.
Okay,
and how
it's
do you know
really
that?
dense. It's really
yeah,
moist,
really dense.
compact.
You can mold it. All right. That's not what you want. Obviously, a lot of folks have that, and they want to get rid of it. How do you get rid of it? You amend your soil. You put in things like, well, in this case, this is leaf mold. All right. And here's the test for a soil. If you want it good, all right, we squeeze that. It did not come apart.
Right.
Look at this. If I go like this, that
So
falls
it's able to
apart.
compact, but it falls apart.
Right, and this comes from leaves, and they are composted, and they create this great product which you not just put in your garden, you can put that on your soil. And so what does it do? It holds water better, it brings nutrients, and it brings biology. I always say to people on my show, it's the biology, stupid.
You want more things going on in the lawn than others.
Exactly. Now, this is what I call gangway compost.
Okay.
This was in my gangway, and I want you to get a look at this because there's leaves and twigs and stuff.
You know, it's funny. I had some friends in from out of town the other day, and we're talking about come around the gangway. They had no idea what I was talking about. They were texting back and forth. Are there gangs in his neighborhood? It's like, no, I guess Chicago, you don't have, in New York, you don't have a gang.
Yeah, well, I got squirrels that, attack me in the gangway.
Nice.
But there are leaves and twigs and stuff.
There's all kinds of stuff in
Yeah,
there.
would I put this on my garden? Absolutely.
So this is like, after everything melts and you had leaves that you hadn't swept up, all that stuff is good
I gather
compost.
now, would I put this on my lawn? Probably not so much because
Okay.
there's twigs. You don't want to be mowing those. You want something that's a little more broken down.
But certainly for the garden.
Yeah. Now, here's the gold standard, which is out of my compost bin. And this is my compost.
Look at that. That is gold right there.
That is, and
Now, how
you
long?
smell that. Smell it.
That smells
Isn't
like earth. It smells like
really-
life.
You can even see little eggshells in there, and that's okay because it's putting calcium in your soil.
Mike,
as
I
well.
understand that there is a gardening awards or a gardening show that's coming up or something that you're
Yes,
participating
Chicago Excellence in Gardening Awards. It's our third year. My show is sponsoring it, and a bunch of other organizations are sponsoring it. Go to chicagogardeningawards.org. If you live in the city of Chicago and you're eligible, we've given out more than 100 awards to gardens all over the city.
That's fantastic.
And so we're doing it again this year, and I want folks to know about that. And one more thing.
Sure.
People who say they have a brown thumb, they can't grow anything. You ever heard of bulbs? This came out of my yard.
Even with the snow and everything, this stuff was still alive.
Yeah, when I went out yesterday, some of them were flopped down because the snow had gone brrrt. So I said, okay, let me
All
cut
right,
a few
so
of those.
there is still hope.
There's daffodils. You pop a bulb in the ground, in the spring it comes up and it blooms, and people think you're a genius.
It's beautiful stuff. Mike, thank you so much for all the information. We'll check in with you, of course. If you want more information, check out the Mike Novak Show with Peggy Malecki Sunday mornings from 9 to 11 on WCGO AM 1590. Well, that's all the time we have today. Thank you for watching Home with You. Now, tell me about this daffodil action.
Well, what's